What's going on, guys? This is Alec here and welcome to episode 15 of my Swansea City career mode. As you can see here, we're kicking things off by trying to sign a new left back, Andrew Robertson. We bidded 6.1 million plus Neil Taylor, and as you can see here, we get an offer for Michel Vorm. Now, I decided that I'd counter offer this for 20.5 million, and I think you'll see it in the next clip that they didn't want to spend that much, so that's fine. I don't mind keeping Michel Vorm. Jefferson Montero, bid coming from him. I thought I'd take 12.5 mil if they want to offer that. If not, then again, I don't mind keeping him. The same with Jordi Amat, a bid coming for West Brom. I decided to charge them a bit more than I usually would, just because they're another Premier League club. 16 million, I think I'd be happy with that for Jordi Amat. I don't really use him. But yeah, on to the first game. We've got Southampton at home. This is actually in the EFL Cup, so it's not in the Premier League or the FA Cup. This is in the Capital One Cup. I think this is actually the semi-finals, thinking about it now. I'm talking about it as if it's no big deal. The semi-finals of the Capital One Cup. I don't even know what it's called this year, but I'm just going to call it the League Cup. As you can see, our team here, we've got a very, very young and inexperienced team. We've got Connor Roberts coming in at right back. Jordi Amat maybe playing his last game. Montero maybe playing his last game. We've got Martin Odegaard starting with Oliver McBurney. And as you can see here, Southampton's team, they've got a very strong team out. They've got the likes of Seeger in there. And I think that's Adrian Silva that used to play for Sporting. It's the only other Silva I can think of with an A before it. But yeah, EFL Cup semi-finals. This wasn't really a competition that I was completely bothered about. The FA Cup is usually the domestic cup that you want to win. Obviously, Swans won this a couple of years ago. I believe it was 4 years ago now, in the centenary year 2012. But Southampton coming forward here in the attack. Charlie Austin with a good chance early on, and he skies that one. I was under a lot of pressure the first 10 or 15 minutes of this game. It was just getting used to the players and whatnot. But yeah, another attack from Southampton. Seeger, that's a poor effort into Christopher Nordveld's hands, so I'm happy to be giving game time to. I really like Christopher Nordveld. But a good tackle from Van der Hoorn there. Good ball through to Nathan Dyer. Up against his former club. He's got the pace on Jose Fonte. Nice turn inside. And Dyer over to Montero. And what do you guys think about this? It was a penalty. You'll see the replay. Van Dijk, he kind of fouled Montero. He kind of didn't. As you'll see from the replay here, they give such poor angles on the replays, but regardless, we've got Nathan Dyer to step up and he'll put it against the post. We miss a penalty. Nathan Dyer up against his old team, Southampton, and he'll miss that. Nathan Dyer was the best penalty taker on the pitch. I think McBurney was really close, but he misses. It's 0-0. We go again, as Jurgen Klopp would say. But here's Stephen Kingsley now into Martin Odegaard. McBurney, good bit of play into Martin Odegaard, and that one will come off the post. I was so gutted to see that one not go in. It was a good bit of play, and Odegaard was top quality this game. I can't wait till he grows a bit more in a couple of years. But here's Montero into Odegaard again. He was really the playmaker for this game, and it comes into Montero, into Nathan Dyer, and Odegaard to get his goal. He doesn't. I think the keeper actually pushed it onto the post or the crossbar, whatever it hit. It was with his weaker foot, so I can give him a little bit of leniency. But Martin Odegaard really should be putting that one away. But, I mean, this just shows how much of a talent he is. I think he's like 17 years old and he's creating good chances. But we're still carrying on from that last move. And Nathan Dyer picks the ball up into Jefferson Montero. And he'll go for a decent attempt, but it's a pretty easy save from Fraser Foster there. Coming up to the 45th minute mark. Nothing too much going on, and that'll be it for the half-time. 0-0. I mean, I'll take it considering the team we got out, but obviously at home we really want to be winning this one. But Southampton have other plans. Here's Stephen Davis into Adrian Silva, into Ryan Seeger, back to Silva, and that one was never troubling Christopher Nordveld. As you can see, it's all Southampton. I wasn't expecting this. They've given us a good game. Barnes, a player I've never heard of before, into Davis. It's just half chances for Southampton at the moment, which was the encouraging thing. But here's Montero down the left-hand side. He takes on Cedric. Poor bit of defending, but it's still Montero on the ball now. Was looking for some options, decided to cross it in, and it'll go into the back post. Baston misses it, and it's a good defensive header by Jordi Classy there. From the corner, Leon Britton on it. He'll take it, whip it in into Leroy Fair, and it's straight into the hands of Fraser Foster. Debatably our best. No, I was going to say debatably our best chance, but that was Odegaard. But late on into the game, here's Connor Roberts, takes on the defender. Good bit of play from Connor Roberts, and he'll put it into the back post, and nothing will come of it. Classy gets it up the field, and that's how that game is going to end. A 0-0 against Southampton. It was quite an entertaining 0-0 to be fair, but like I said, they are the chances that we've got to take, especially the one with Ødegaard earlier on in the game. They can prove really costly, but luckily Southampton didn't score against us. That was the main part. But yeah, like I said, a clean sheet isn't too bad against the likes of Charlie Adam. As you can see here, Andrew Robertson Hull actually accepted the offer of Neil Taylor plus 6 million for Robertson. He is 22, so he is young. That's a contract we're going to offer, 35,000 and for 5 years. He's a good young player. As you can see here, Michel Vorm, Hull decided not to bid 21 million for him. Not a lot of comments about this on the last episode, but I thought, screw it, I'm going to go out. I absolutely love this player. He was my favourite player in a Swans shirt for a long time, well, since he was at the club. As you can see, I'm having a bit of difficulty adjusting the wages. He wants 10 grand, I've got... see, what am I even doing here? He wants 10 grand, I've got no problems giving that to him, and we'll offer him on a 4-year contract. He is 30 years old, but I thought he'd be a good utility player. On to the last game of the episode. Swansea up against Arsenal. Another team we seem to have played quite a bit this year. It's always the London clubs that we're playing a lot against. But at home in the Premier League, as you can see here, the new Premier League graphics look sick. And it looks even better with us on top. 46 points, 6 points ahead of second place. This is the team we're going to be playing today. Pretty much the same team as always, apart from the fact that Keeson Young is coming in at holding midfield. Don't usually play him a lot. Leon Britton on the bench. Likes of Jay Fulton getting in on the bench as well. But as you can see here from the Arsenal team, a really interesting team they've got. I think they're pretty much the same team that played against me last time. Like Ozil, Sanchez, Lukaku, some really good players. But look at that on the bench. Jan Oblak on the bench for them. Like, look how strong that bench is. Like Santi Cazorla, Aaron Ramsey, just all chilling on the bench, as well as Jan Oblak. I'm not sure where Granit Xhaka was. He wasn't on the bench, so I don't know whether he's injured or he may have transferred. I doubt that though. But yeah, going on into the game, as you can see, Arsenal putting on the early pressure just 6 minutes into the game. A decent ball from Oxlade-Chamberlain into the back post, and Norton failed to deal with it, or doesn't deal with it very well. And from the corner here, comes into Monreal, and he'll put a very good ball into Oxlade-Chamberlain. He should be doing better. I should have been 1-0 down there. Oxlade-Chamberlain with a decent chance at the back post, but he fails to capitalise on it. But a sloppy bit of defending here from us into Lukaku, and he'll take a shot. It comes off the crossbar, and we actually managed to get it away, luckily. Great attempt from the Belgian striker, who was really proving a lot of problems this game. But attack of our own here, Baston into Sigurdsson, into Fair, with a good ball into Depay. Now then, he's got hardly any options in the box. Depay, he hits the post and it comes back to him. And this is probably the best celebration of the year. Czech just completely plows Depay over. Doesn't care, and then Depay just stays on the floor, and then he gets up and he claps. Yeah, I mean, if I was to score a goal in the Premier League, that probably wouldn't be my first choice of celebration, but nonetheless, we did score. As you could see there, Depay just running into Czech, as you do. But this was literally straight from kick-off. Arsenal wanting to put some pressure back on. Good turn from Lukaku. He gets it out to Alexis Sanchez, and it's still Sanchez, and that is the easiest goal Lukaku will score in his career. It's a good bit of movement from him at the back post, I'll give him that, and it was a really good ball in from Alexis, but Stephen Kingsley failed to pick up the ball at the back post. You'll see here, debatably could have cleared it, but when you're playing the likes of Alexis, he can do things like that, and that's Lukaku's third goal in the Premier League, which I was surprised to hear. I thought he'd have had a little bit more goals than that this season, but still Lukaku, another good turn. He was constantly doing that, receiving it to feet and turning my defenders. He'll get the good ball over to Alexis Sanchez, who has a decent chance here. What can he do? He'll pull it back to Lukaku, and that one was going high and wide. No problems there. Alexis Sanchez here into Per Mertesacker. Poor mistake there, and Barrow can capitalise. Into Baston, he'll put it square for the sweaty goal. Memphis Depay, a little bit of a better celebration that time, goes to celebrate with Baston. I thought about taking the shot on with Baston here, as you can see. Great bit of play from Barrow, but I seen Depay at the back post and he was in miles of space. I thought I have to give it to him for his 8th goal of the Premier League season. I've finally gotten out of the habit of calling it the Barclays Premier League now, so yeah, that's one thing to be happy about. Decent chance here from us coming up to half time. Leroy Fair hits the crossbar there. Great ball from Baston, and it was a good attempt from Fair. Haven't seen too much of his shooting ability. It's usually been down to Sigurdsson that in the midfield, but half time 2-1, I'll take that against a strong Arsenal team. They actually brought on Ramsey at half time, but a decent chance here from him off a corner. A decent chance for us rather, and it comes out to Barrow, a tame effort there into Czech's hands. this was a really sort of 50-50 game. Like you can see, it's end-to-end stuff. We're on the edge of the box defending for our life here, but Sigurdsson plays a good ball from Barrow. He's got a lot of space down the line. He's up against Per Mertesacker. He'll come inside into Baston, who's in a lot of space, and for some reason Aurier stops his run, and Baston will finish that into the bottom left corner. I don't know why he took it with his left foot. I did actually want him to use his right foot and put that into the bottom corner, but nonetheless we've scored. It's 3-1, and Baston, I think that's his 8th goal of the season. Good finish as well over Czech's legs. Arsenal still pushing forward though. Here's Lukaku with a half chance. That was an easy save from Vorm there. And as you'll see, we're just trying to run the clock down a little bit. We're being that guy. And a chance laid on here from Arsenal. Elneny just shows his Messi-esque style of play until that moment where he turns into Shamak's style of play. But yeah, that's going to be that game. That's going to be this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 15. Please tune in tomorrow. I'll try and get a double upload tomorrow. I say that every single Saturday. But yeah, 2 goals from Memphis, a goal from Baston. That obviously keeps us top of the league. We're making movements. Swansea are making movements. This is what Bob Bradley is going to do. I put money on it. Actually, I wouldn't put any money on that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you.